Hey, hello people, my name is Rage, and welcome one and all to my top 10 League of Explorers cards. Now, I'm choosing these cards based on a mixture of the card's flavor, how it looks, how actual competitively strong it is, how neat it is, how unique it is, a lot of mix of factors. I'm not just going for pure competitive strength here, because honestly, like a lot of people, I'm a little bit disillusioned with competitive Hearthstone. It's just so... But fortunately for Hearthstone, what it does do well is wacky fun situations with wacky fun cards in brawls, in arenas, and if you play non-competitively and just do fun decks, you can still have a lot of fun with this game, and that's what I want to really focus on. So that's where I'm going with this, just the 10 cool, fun, cards that have really caught my attention on this expansion, because I'll be real with you, saying this 4-drop is really good, but it's not as good as Shredder, so it won't see play for the 80th time, gets kinda old. So the expansion itself then actually looks fantastic. The bosses and all the new stuff they're doing looks great, and there is a new keyword, which will be explained lovelily by the first card on my list, number 10, Arch-Thief Wrathon. He is one of the 5 legendaries that are being added, and his battle cry is Discover, a powerful artifact. So what is Discover then? Well, it's the brand new keyword, and basically it gives you an option of free cards, much like tracking, and you choose which one you want. So in his case, you get to choose between Mirror of Doom, Timepiece of Horror, and Lantern of Power. So a +10/+10 buff, pretty meaty, 10 damage arcane missiles, again pretty good, and then a potential 7 lots of free frees, again pretty good. It's a good, strong, powerful legendary, and it's a lot of fun. There's not much to say here. Playing all 3 of those big artifact powers is gonna feel great, and you're gonna really enjoy just boom, fuck you, opponent, whenever you lay them down. So, next up, we're gonna have the Murloc Tiny Fin. Look at him! I mean, come on, could you ever kill that? And the funny thing is, when he gets buffed up by all the Murlocs, he is going to murder you hard. So at least you get to die by the most adorable thing in the world. He can barely move, he's just waggling his sword, he doesn't even have his proper teeth yet, he's just... Aww, and it is kind of nice to see new good Murloc cards. A 0-mana Murloc's a big deal, because you can just throw it out there and activate more Murloc effects, which is really quite nice. Next up then, we have the Summoning Stone. A 0/6 for 5, whenever you cast a spell, summon a random minion of the same cost. So this is basically just the Brawl, where you get a minion every time you play a spell for the same Kloss? For the same Kloss? I don't even know what a Kloss is, but now I desperately want one. So it's gonna have a lot of cool, silly moments if you let this card live. And while this certainly isn't competitively viable, it is going to be a lot of fun to just blow off a load of spells if somehow you've made this live for a turn. Maybe give it stealth as a rogue is actually kind of a really neat little trick there. Blast off your rogue spells, get a board full of minions. That actually kind of excites me. I think we're going to see some cool epic sax moments with a Summoning Stone. So next up, we got Bronzebeard. He is a ridiculously famous and important WoW lore character, and he is now finally immortalized as a legendary. He is the explorer in WoW, rivaled only by Harrison Jones, adventure extraordinaire. And he has your battle cries trigger twice. So he's a Baron Rivendare for battle cries. He's got reasonable stats for free mana. They're not great, but they're not bad. And his effect is very powerful. There are a lot of battle cries that if you can trigger twice, you get insane value out. I think this card might become a staple in a lot of decks, and I think it might be one of the few meta-defining cards in the set. So that's why this is here. I can't ignore just the sheer potential of this thing. I really, really can't. Next up then, we have at number 5, Renault Jackson. I mean, look at him. He is pretty happy with himself. He is pretty smug. He knows that, yeah, I'm a bad explorer. Yeah, what up, Bran? See, you're a dwarf. You don't get all the ladies, but I do. I go get the treasure. I mean, look at my arm. It's the size of an elephant. Look at these muscles. And Bran is just like, Renault Jackson, I'm a dwarf. I could throw you over this mountain quicker than blink, laddie. And he's like, Renault! He's actually a Pokemon. He just speaks his own name. I don't know what tangent I just went on, but I love the idea of rewarding you for having 30 different cards in your deck with a boom, full health, what-up aggro, legendary. I think he'll be very neat. Terrible, but I do think he will be very neat. So, next up then, we have ourselves Anything Can Happen. A 10-mana paladin spell. Summon 7 Murlocs that died this game. This is awesome because it reminds me of Backs to the Wall, the 6 Samurai card, which I love from Yu-Gi-Oh! For any of you that know that. And I just think it's fantastic for a Paladin deck. Imagine you're beat down, you're out of cards, you've crawled to turn 10, you nearly killed your opponent, but they sherbetted, apparently, but they stabilized, and you're like, boom! Anything can happen, my friend, and then just the cries of 7 Murlocs murgling out onto the field. I mean, this card is gonna be fun. I don't think it's that good because it's the definition of too slow for a Murloc deck, but I also think that it's just, I mean, look at it. That Murloc has a spear. It is going to stab you. It is pushing past its friends in order to stab you harder. That is what you call dedication from a Murloc. Yes, sirree. All right. Next up, then, this is kind of where it gets, for the last few cards. I think I'm going to go for the Mounted Raptor, the 3-mana Druid card. 3 mana, 3/2. It's basically a smaller shredder for 1-mana creatures. Now, the reason I like this is apart from the fact that it's honestly pretty good, I can see this being played a lot, is that I love the imagery of all these various 1-drops riding a raptor. Like, there's gonna be some cool guys who are like, oh man, you killed my raptor, I was riding that. If we have something like the injured Valdir, this giant zombie Viking thing was just riding into battle on this raptor, that's pretty good. In fact, that is good, because then you get yourself a 2/3, or a zombie chow, it was a zombie rider. I think we're just gonna have some amusing moments from this one. I really, really do. Alright, moving on then. No, we have ourselves a Sir Finley Murgleton. This guy is cool. This guy is really cool. I mean, he's Sir Finley Murgleton. He's a well-to-do, posh gentleman Murloc who is really going to get the job done, and that's what I like to see. And it's awesome because it's a 1-mana card you can play on turn 1 that just straight up gives you one of 3 other hero powers from the other classes. This is going to be fantastic in classes that hero power isn't really that good for their archetype. For example, Murloc Shaman. You're going to want to swap away to hopefully something like the Mage's hero power, start pinging away while you're playing your Murlocs. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I mean, just look at him. You can't not look at that card and that name and be like, yeah, I would love to play something called Sir Finley Murgleton. I mean, that is just wonderful. Alright, so next up we have another big-ass, high-cost Murloc spell. I don't know why this is now a theme, but apparently it is, and that makes me, well, how many of you just thought your video broke? Yeah, I know. I do a great impression of a breaking video. I shouldn't be able to do that, actually. That's just really insulting myself, isn't it? But everything is awesome! Give your minions +2/+2, and it costs less for each Murloc you control. How cool is that? I mean, it's the definition of a win more card, but it's fun. I mean, the ability to swarm the board with Murlocs and then just super buff everything because you're already dominating, and the fact it's called Everything is Awesome. I just love big, powerful spells like that, and I can see the cries of Murgle flying across the battlefield being a very, very common sound in the League of Explorers, and honestly, I kind of like that. I do sort of miss the days of a viable Murloc deck. I will be trying my best to make Shaman Murloc a bloody good deck in League of Explorers. So, finally then, we have Lease Starseeker. She is honestly one of the most unique things that's happened to Hearthstone in a while. So, a 4-mana 3/5, that's just okay. It's not great, it's a little bit less than a Yeti, but it's fine, you know? It's a good stat distribution. It kills Shredder. but its battle cry is shuffle the map to the golden monkey into your deck. So, what is that then? So here it is, the map to the golden monkey. Shuffle the golden monkey into your deck, and then draw a card. So you see how this is starting to be an actual chain of cards, a treasure hunt, you know, exploring your deck, trying to find a sacred artifact. So you play Elise, she puts the map in your deck, you find the map, you play the map, and then it puts this, the golden monkey, in your deck. So when you eventually draw this, look at this bad boy. A 4-mana 6/6 with taunt is obviously great, but look at that freaking text. Battle cry hijinks the hell out of your deck. Everything in your hand and deck becomes random legendary minions. And the thing is, I don't actually think this will be that bad, because super late game, turning everything into averagely powerful legendary minions is actually going to be pretty good for you. So while this is a super ridiculous gimmick and an awesome one to go on this chain of cards adventure for your deck, it might actually see some play in some super slow control decks, and that's kind of exciting. The hunt for the golden monkey. I think that's a lot of fun. And honestly, there are a lot of cool cards that I've just not even mentioned, and ones that I'm excited to play with, and a fair amount of actual competitively strong cards as well. There may even be a card that can almost sort of compete with Dr. Boom from Warrior. I know. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm very happy with this expansion. I'm very happy it's coming out so soon, and you can be sure you'll have videos from me completing the wings and having a lot of fun with it. So, while Hearthstone may have a lot of problems competitively, it's still a game that's great for just silly fun. And yeah, that does make me happy. It really does. What are your favorite cards? Let me know what you thought. I very much wanted to do this a little bit more rapid fire, yeah, boom, than just 20 minutes of telling you all the nitty gritty competitive stuff, because there are a million people that do that. And as I said, I'm just so disillusioned with it. I really am. I wanted a fun, fast-paced video for you guys, especially as the expansion's coming out in less than 5 bloody days. That is crazy. So for now, my name has been Rage. Remember to like if you've enjoyed this, and subscribe for more. Oh, goodbye.